Howdy, welcome to ENGL 1010, section SN1. This is Comp 1, and SN1 stands for Sullivan North High School. This is a dual enrollment course. It's also going to be fully online. It's going to be an internet course, so that creates some different challenges as well. My name is Eric Fish. I'll be teaching the course, and I want to go over the syllabus with this video and then kind of walk you through D2L real quickly. Try and keep it as short as I can. I'm not going to read this entire syllabus to you. You're going to be doing a syllabus quiz anyway, so you're going to be reading through it on your own because you can read a lot faster than I can talk, right? But just going to go through some of the major ideas. The syllabus is on the content page for the course, as the class schedule is as well. So as we're looking at these documents, there's a copy for you already up there on D2L. Like it says, my name is Eric Fish. When I say D2L, if you're new to Northeast State and online courses, D2L is short for Desire to Learn. That's the online platform for the course. That's where everything is for this internet course. And that's where you should be emailing me, and I'll show you how to do that here in a little bit. Also, you might get a little B icon on your computer because D2L is sometimes called Bright Space. They like to change their names all the time to keep us on our toes, and make sure we're never quite settled with what's going on. If you're just desperate to contact me, you can use my Northeast State email address. I get a lot of emails. I get a lot of junk email in there. And it's very easy for me to miss one student email running through there. So try to use D2L if at all possible. If you're going through My Northeast to access D2L, that's a great way to do it because you can also check your Northeast State email. But if it's not working for whatever reason, if the school website's down, Northeast State's website's down, you can go directly to D2L through this login page there. I do have an office on the main campus. I'm probably not going to be there this semester. I'm doing all online classes. So if you want to come to campus and see me, be sure to let me know or email me ahead of time. Don't just show up at my office and wonder why I'm not there. We're still dealing with this COVID thing, right? Likewise, phoning me is not a very good idea. If you leave a message on there, it may be a couple of days before I get to it. The best way is to do it through D2L email. And also you're going to see when we get to the D2L page, you have the option of using the Remind app, which is a way of texting me questions, particularly short questions. Anonymous, well, not anonymous, I don't know who you are, but I won't have your phone number or anything like that. But we'll show you that here in a little bit. But to kind of go through some things on the syllabus, it's Comp 1, you're going to be writing essays. For this dual enrollment class, the first 8 weeks or so up to fall break is going to be Comp 1, and then after fall break, we're going to be doing Comp 2. We'll see how the schedule works. If Sullivan County decides to cancel fall break or something like that, we'll just have to adjust our schedule accordingly, right? That's the current plan. Comp 1 before fall break, Comp 2 after fall break. Comp 1, composition, you're going to be writing essays, particularly research essays. We're going to do 2 MLA essays and 2 APA essays, so the fun won't ever stop. The reason we do 2 APAs is because I know I have you for Comp 2, so we're going to be going back to MLA for Comp 2. So you want to make sure you know both, particularly APA. That's probably what you're going to be writing in more than MLA when you get to other college courses. There's no textbook for the course. There is one for Comp 2, so if they made you get the Norton Introduction to Literature, one, if you already have a copy of the 12th edition, it'll be fine. They've moved to the 13th edition. If you won't pay all that money for the 13th edition, that's, if you got money to burn, you can go ahead and do that. But we'll talk about that more as we get towards fall break. Make sure you have a way to back up your work. If you're just like on, say, the Google Docs, don't just leave it all in Google Docs and have your little brother go in on your computer and delete everything for some reason. Make sure you have a backup. I'm old school. I actually have the jump drive. Email it to yourself. If you're on Google Docs, download it to your computer. Just make sure you have backup copies of all your work. That's very important. Generally, when I get those tearful emails, it's usually because the student hasn't backed up their work and lost. Major essay work, 20% of the grade. For the grading breakdown, if you go to page 6 on the syllabus, you'll see a listing of everything we're going to be doing in the course. This is a good way to keep track of your grades. D2L is the official grade book for the course, so if you have a copy here and you're checking your D2L grades, it's a good way to kind of see, like, whoa, wait a minute, something's wrong here. I need to let Mr. Fish know that he made a mistake in recording the grades or something. But we're going to start with a song analysis essay. Not as easy as it sounds. It's basically going to tell me 3 reasons you like a particular song, but that's a little harder than it may first sound at first. And you're going to see there's some exercises and other things going on. And basically the way we're going to work with it's going to use a basic writing process where we do pre-writing, which will be step 1, where we might do some exercises. You might get a video on MLA formatting or something. I'll do a video reviewing the assignment. Then you're going to have the writing stage where you actually have to write the essay at some point. There'll be checkpoints along the way. Generally asked to see your first paragraph or first 2 paragraphs. Then you'll send in a draft. Then we'll do peer reviews. Then you'll do the 3rd step, which is revising. You'll keep doing all the correcting everything on there. And then you're going to submit it for a grade. That's the 4th step. Then the 5th step is going to be revising it one more time and then posting it into LinkedIn, an online site. So make sure as you're thinking about all this, all your work's going to be going online. So I don't really care what song you choose, but if it's a song you don't want your parents to know about or something, pick something else. Same thing with all these other ones. Some of these might get a little personal with the medical topic. You're going to be writing about somebody's experience with a medical problem. You're going to want to make sure they're comfortable having that posted in LinkedIn there. LinkedIn's just kind of like a Facebook for professional people looking for jobs. But you can see we're going to work with 4 major essays. The journals are going to be kind of a pre-writing exercise where that prepares you for the essays. Add up all the points. There's 1,021 points for the course. That means there's 21 bonus points. When students start emailing me, can I get extra credit? It's like, no, it's already built into the course. And so that's all we're going to work with there for extra credit. One thing we'll talk about as we start working with grades, I have to use the Northeast State Scale, which is 90, 80, 70%. Sullivan North is probably 93% is an A, 85 is a B, 75% is a C. And I'm going to end up converting that grade at the end of the semester. It's not fair that you're being graded on a Northeast State Scale that doesn't match up to the Sullivan North Scale, right? So eventually at the end of the semester, like if you have a 90 for the Northeast State grade, we'll end up adding 3 points to have a 93 for the Sullivan North grade. Make sure you save your work. Likewise, don't throw out any graded work. It's not so much of a problem because D2L keeps a backup copy of everything I send anyway. But don't go into your email and delete everything for some bizarre reason. Because if I die in a fiery car crash the day before grades are due, can you prove you took this class? Now, if you deleted all the graded work I've sent to you, you can't. You got a big problem there, and that's happened a few times. Where a student says, "Hey, why'd I get an F in the class?" And like, I don't know. Bring your papers in. We'll take a look at it and see what went wrong. Well, I didn't save them. Like, ooh, sucks to be you, right? You got a problem there. So just cover your rear end. Make sure you keep backup copies of your work as you complete them. Make sure you don't throw anything away that I send back or delete in this case. One important thing with dual enrollment courses, I'm not on the Sullivan North email system. I won't hear any announcements. Hopefully you all are going to start getting back into the swing of things at some point. But I won't hear school announcements, obviously, because I'm not going to be in the school. So be sure and let me know if there's any school activities. If we have a big test coming up on a particular day, and that's the big senior comeback day or something, whatever they're going to hopefully do once you start getting back into the classroom. That's weird. Be sure and let me know. I'm happy to work with the schedule a little bit to accommodate big school events, things like that. If you have to miss, make sure you let me know when you kind of get back. Let me know before if you can. But if you miss something or you miss a due date, that's kind of an absence. I'm going to record it as an absence. I don't know if anybody really cares. Sullivan North might. Northeast State doesn't really, unless you start missing a lot in a row. But don't assume I'm going to email you stuff you've missed. I may not remember you weren't there. So if you miss a class or you miss a due date, be sure and contact me and make sure you let me know what's going on. There's no snow days. This is an internet class. If we have some major weather event where there's widespread power outages or something like that, we'll deal with that. Generally, if you just have a particular problem, just email me real quick. If you say like, man, I have to work till like 3 in the morning tonight because my boss is a jerk and didn't tell me, just send me a quick email. Say I'll have that to you, have that assignment to you, later today or whenever. And generally, I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay. But if you start having patterns where you're not turning stuff in, or you got major medical issues, things like that, I don't need to know the details, but you want to contact me and make sure you're keeping up with assignments and stuff, so you don't get the late penalty and all that. The rest, it's going to be covered in the syllabus. An important one with FERPA. One of your parents calls me up and says, I want to talk about my kid's grades. I can't do that. One, I don't know who I'm talking to on the phone, so I can't verify who that parent is. Same thing with emails. If I get from BigDaddy42@gmail.com saying why is Susie's grade so bad, I don't know who that is, right? The Federal Education Rights and Privacy Act or something like that. I might have that wrong. Kind of prevents me from giving that kind of information out. You're considered an adult in this class. So if your parents are used to seeing your grades like on Power School or something, all our grades are going to be on D2L, and it's kind of up to you if you want to let them in to see your grades. And that's what I'm going to tell them. It's like, well, your kid's an adult in this class, and I can't just hand out, tell you his or her grades. To do that, I'd probably have to meet them in person, see who they are, make sure they're cleared in our system to give out that information. That's a big pain. So sometimes parents get a little bit confused about that. The rest, blah, blah. If you plagiarize in this course, if you just copy and paste stuff off the internet, you'll fail. Please don't do that. If you want to drop the class, make sure you contact Shelby or Jackie. I think you can go ahead and do that online, but bad things may happen. They may want their grant money back if you're not going to complete the course. So be sure and contact Northeast State before you do that. This is an important one. If you have a school AEP or 504 plan or whatever, that does not count for this class unless you've gone through the Northeast State Accommodations Office. So just saying, hey, I need these accommodations because I have an AEP plan or 504 plan, that's not good enough for this class. So you need to contact the accommodations office at Northeast State and get approval through that before I can make accommodations. So be careful there. Some of these policies you're just going to read and go like, we're not even in a building. This doesn't apply, but some of these I'm just required to put on there. But again, that's the syllabus. Syllabus is just a kind of a reformatting of basic life rules. You got to show up, got to do the work in a timely manner. You got to communicate to keep small problems small, and you got to be a professional student, right? You can't cheat or you got to behave fairly well, right? Alrighty. Let me see if I've missed anything here. Background communicate accommodations. One thing about this course, as you read all this, it's an asynchronous course. You're not required to be in D2L at one particular time during the day. I don't plan on having Zoom meetings. If there's a big groundswell of desire to meet as a class like that, I'm happy to do it. But generally, I found with internet students, once everybody gets going in the semester, they're all on different schedules, and people will be submitting work all the way around the clock. So I try not to do any synchronous work because of that. Plus, I'm not sure we all want to be up at 7:20 or whatever in the morning and our jammies on a Zoom session. The next thing I want to show you is the class schedule. It's on a separate document. Again, you'll see that on the content page in D2L. You're going to see assignments are due on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They're due by midnight that night or 11:59 p.m. just to clarify. So like today, you're just getting a welcome. I'm doing this video on Wednesday the 5th. You just get this welcome to the class kind of thing. For Friday, you should be watching videos number 1, and this is going to be video number 1. And you should complete the syllabus quiz, put that in the Dropbox, and do the intro paragraph, and put that in the Dropbox. And I'm going to do videos showing you how to do those. But when it says due, it's due that night at 11:59 p.m. For Monday, journals 1 through 3 are due. For the 12th, the first 2 paragraphs of the song analysis are due. Some days like this, you just don't see something like that where it's pretty quick. These paragraphs might be a little rough. I want to make sure you're on the right track before you write the entire essay. There's nothing worse than writing an entire essay and have the instructor go like, that's not what I'm looking for. It's a lot of work for nothing, right? But then you'll have the full draft due. We'll do peer reviews on the drafts. Those will be due, and then I'll probably go to the peer reviews real quickly. We'll see how that works. And then the final version of the essay is due. Then we start that process with a new essay. We'll start with journals, maybe some exercises, and then work on paragraphs and have the full draft and do peer reviews. So you're going to see that cycle go 4 times throughout the semester up to fall break. If you have any questions about the schedule, be sure to let me know. If you're looking at it and say, well, wait a minute, there's a big deal going on here on October 2nd. Can we redo the schedule a little bit? If it's just you, probably not. If it's like half the class is going to be going somewhere, then yeah, we'll have to work with that a little bit. But again, communication is important. You got to let me know when things are happening. And again, Sutherland North doesn't contact me for things like school activities, so you have to let me know, right? That's one of the more difficult things with dual enrollment students. They're kind of used to people taking care of things like that for them, and it's really up to you to tell me what's going on. If you're going to have trouble turning in an assignment or something like that. All right. What we're looking at is D2L. Looks like most of you have been in here already. This is the class. It's a piece of art from the Hirshhorn Museum there, if you're wondering what that is. It's kind of interesting. It's a huge thing. It's like about 25, 30 feet long. It's all this cloth and stuff put on the wall. Fascinating exhibit. But anyway, on D2L, you're going to get generally here you're going to start getting reminders about work coming due. Right now, it's just saying, hey, welcome to Comp 1. If you want to sign up for the Remind app, again, you'll get this on your phone through a text message. And I don't send long messages. I don't send anything that's a secret for only people on the Remind app. Generally, I'll just say something like, hey, syllabus quiz and intro paragraphs due on Friday, and just kind of a reminder like that. But it's also a good way for you to ask quick questions. I can't discuss grades on the Remind app, but if you just say, hey, should this be sent in Word format or something? It's like, well, yes. Good short questions like that I can answer pretty quickly can come through the Remind app. If you want to know more about me, you can go to my LinkedIn page. We'll be working with those with the second essay. All right, on the D2L page, important things. By the way, once you get into D2L, make sure you change your password because your username is not private. You can go to the class list page and you can see everybody's username. So say, like here with Chloe and Kayla, if you're a twin, you probably already know your sibling's username and password here, and you can get into the D2L account and wreak havoc if you wanted to. Hopefully, they're not going to do that. But some of you might know somebody else's birthday, and so you want to go in there and change that. Make sure it's something private. And for email, an easy way to email me is just come to the come to the class list page. Just click on my name. And eventually the email function will pop up. There it goes. And you want to check, make sure you're sending it to me. And you can just compose your email and send it to me. When I email the class, I just click this box here and I hit email. And I can just do, well, I can't spell here. I can do a quick email. Generally, if I address an email to everyone, that's going to the whole class. If it just has your name on it, or at least the name you say you want to prefer to be called in the syllabus quiz, that's coming straight to you. But this is how quickly I can send an email to the class, so that's why it's so important that we work through D2L email instead of having 20 students in different ways working through my Northeast State email. That's just a nightmare. But if you're going to send me an email, make sure you don't hit this button. Make sure you're just hitting my name. And one other thing, when you check your email, it's always better to do it outside of the class, like when you first get into D2L, because if you do it within the class, you only get emails from this class. And sometimes that gets a little hairy, particularly if you have more than one dual enrollment class. But you just click on this email and it'll pop up your emails. Internet's a little, well, D2L is a little slow. And you can just click on that test email and see that I said howdy. If you want to, you can reply to an email there, whatever you want to do. Get back into class. Another important one is the content page. That's where all the material is going to be. It's going to look a little different. In fact, let me go ahead and get in here as a student. Sometimes if I'm showing something on a video, you might see things like, hey, I don't have that there. It's like, well, you know, I'm the instructor. I got extra stuff in there. But you have the course documents, the syllabus quiz, and the intro paragraph that's due on Friday are right here under exercises. You can look at the first essay assignment here. Eventually, you'll see YouTube videos coming up. There's some journal entries, which we'll talk about in another video. Down here are help resources and sample essays to help you understand what we're doing with each essay assignment there. So the content page is very important. That's where most of the stuff's going to be in the class. If the last thing you hit was the essay projects, F20, Fall 20 here, it's going to come out that way the next time you enter the class. So if you're wanting like the journal entries, you're like, all I see are essays, come back up here to table of contents. You can scroll on down and see everything all at once. We're probably not going to do discussion boards for Comp 1. We will in Comp 2, so won't worry about that now. Your grades, the D2L gradebook is the official gradebook for the course. Yours is going to look like this. I already got a nice listing of all your grades for the class, and I'll be filling that out as you turn stuff in, and I grade it and return it to you. Let's get out of the student view. Let me show you how easy it is for me to put a wrong grade into a class or into a person's grade book. That's what it looks like on my end. I got all these little boxes for, I think eventually it's going to be 18, 20 students in here, and it goes all the way across. So it's quite possible I'll put a wrong grade in there. You can kind of see we got 2 people with the last name of Hensley. I don't know if we got any repeating first names. That's just very easy for me to mistranscribe a grade, put the wrong one in there. If there's a problem, email me to say, hey, on the one you sent back, I had a 24 out of 24, but the grade says 20 out of 24 or whatever. And generally I'll go like, oh, yeah, I had a brain fart, sorry. And I'll correct it. But at the end of the semester, or I guess sometimes during fall break, I just download this gradebook into an Excel spreadsheet, and I turn that into my dean, and that's how the grades work. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier on, Comp 1 and Comp 2 are going to be 2 separate courses for this class. Like I said, Comp 1's before fall break, Comp 2's after fall break. But you're going to see 2 separate courses in D2L eventually for those, which we'll talk about when we get closer to Comp 2. But you're earning 6 college credit hours with this dual enrollment thing. One other place we're going to be working on our assignments. That's where you're going to submit work. Make sure you submit things in the correct Dropbox. But I'm going to give you some videos that shows you how to do that. I think that's about it. Tried to keep it as short as possible. It's about 25 minutes. But if you have any questions, that's one of the most important things in an internet course. If you don't understand something, ask. Send me an email. Even once you send an email, you kind of find it kind of like, it's right there in front of my face. Don't worry about it. The only real problem is when students don't ask questions and they just kind of go down with the ship and don't say anything. That's not what you want to do. You want to ask questions generally as soon as you have them, and it's plenty of questions is what I'm here for. That's why I make the big money, right? If you have questions, let me know, but we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.